got two steroid bums out there
With 60 and 61.
who aren't going to get a lot of sympathy from a lot of the voters. I mean, the longer this goes on, do they bring him in year number 10? They only got 2 years left.
We'll close on this, and I think both of you will agree with me on this. Mark McGwire is not on the ballot anymore, and there's no chance that he's going to get in the future because he's not eligible for a Veterans Committee. If Barry Bonds comes out and admits that he took steroids, McGwire, like you said, told me in our pre-production meeting, Scott, Mark McGwire's reputation was healed a bit by that, and he got jobs with the Dodgers coaching and the Padres. Barry Bonds can get into the Hall of Fame next year if he were to come out and publicly say,
you know what? I think this goes deeper than what you're saying, though, okay? I understand where you're going with it, but when you bite the hand that feeds you and you piss off the media, then I'm not so sure they're going to let him in that easy. So, David, you've been around this a long time. I think that Bonds, to me, and he's admitted that he should have treated us a whole lot better, okay, but there's a lot of people that just don't want him and Clemens in. They don't. 60%, is that what these guys had this year?
61 and 60.8.
60.7 for Bonds. Let me say this real quick.
Okay.
When he was hitting, and I'll leave it on this. When he was hitting coach in Miami, and they thought, oh, great, he's going to help Giancarlo Stanton become the next Babe Ruth. And for a while it worked. And then he started calling Giancarlo a baby and a guy who didn't really want it. It wasn't hungry. And he was picking at the players. And then the media wanted to know why Bonds was so insolent and dissonant and distant from everybody. It's the same thing. Barry Bonds isn't going to change his stripes. He's going to still want the media to come to him. It's not going to happen. I do agree with Scott.
Well, I'll tell you another thing. Don Mattingly fired him because of the fact that Barry Bonds didn't look at tape, and his work ethic in terms of evaluating players didn't help. So tack on that lack of work ethic where you're a one and done in Miami with arguably one of the better hitters in the game with Don Mattingly, who was a hitting coach at one point before he elevated himself to the managerial ranks, and take – in his overall, Barry's reputation all the way around is horrible to begin with. Let me tell you, when he passed that home run, nobody was in. He never got a job after the Giants. Nobody wanted to touch the guy.
But he should have, because a lot of the numbers suggest he was still a
forget
productive
that. I
player.
mean, Bud Selig wanted him out of the game, and I got news for you. Everybody railroaded him out, and he deserved to.
That's a question we probably could debate for the next 10 years, and we still wouldn't come up with a conclusion that would be ethical.
But the reality is that Mattingly fired him after 1 year. Bonds couldn't get along with the media, let alone his own shadow, and he has and I will end it on this note. In my opinion, the all-time home run king will be Hank Aaron. Period. Not Barry Bonds. I don't care what nobody says. Henry Aaron's the all-time home run king. I don't want Mr. Fraud, and I think the writers are going to keep him out. I really do. Again, the only intriguing question is who gets the leap to take away from
the weak class.
Yeah, it'd be no different. I don't bring up politics too often, but I will mention this in a very slight reference, okay, that if you had the Democrats and Republican and you vote for the independent, where does that other vote go to take away from the one or the other to make a difference in the election? That's as far as I'm going with politics. But you guys understand my point.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, definitely. All right, guys, this was fun.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, all right. Well, so your homework assignment for the show next week for the baseball program will be about who should have belonged here. All right?
Okay, I'm on it.
All right.
All right. Well, I'll be talking to you soon.
You guys have a great evening.
You too, David.
Same to you. Glad to have you back on, buddy. We'll talk soon.
Thanks, guys.
All right, thank you.
Bye.
Good night. All right, so that wraps up this edition of the Sports Exchange. I want to give a shout-out to all of our guests that were on the program. Les Wolff, our memorabilia guy. Rick Curti, our source from Charlotte, who will be a regular visitor on the program. Bill Winters with his football knowledge and his team approach for our broadcasting network. Michael Santos did a great job with a sport we don't give a lot of attention, and David Levin finishes it off. So we hope everybody has a good night, and we will be back here on Thursday night here on the Sports Exchange. On behalf of
Louis Adia Weiss,
this is Scott Morgan Ross saying good evening, everybody.